I was a mobile gamer. Before you unsubscribe, there's a reason I say this. Out of all the videos that I make, this is one of the only ones that I'm moderately qualified for, but you'll hear more about me later. For now, here's the history of mobile shooters. Our story starts out back in the olden days of 2008, when the first major mobile shooter game was released, called The Overtaker 3D. The Overtaker was a Wolfenstein-inspired first-person shooter that was, frankly, insane for the time it was developed. 2008 might not seem like that long ago, but this came out at a time when it was still in style to put the keyboard on the phone. I don't know whose idea that was, but 5-year-old Red thought it was pretty slick. And Spanner Spencer of Pocket Gamer said the same thing about these slick graphics. The year after that, the two largest early mobile shooter franchises released, Modern Combat and Nova, or as I like to call them, Knockoff COD and Knockoff Halo. To their credit, both these games were a huge step up from the Overtaker, both in graphics and just general gameplay. Also, they were both published by everyone's favorite mobile game studio, Gameloft. But it wasn't just new IPs in this market. Both Call of Duty and Battlefield had launched their own attempts at capturing the mobile marketplace with Call of Duty World at War Zombies and Battlefield Bad Company 2, with neither really finding huge success. But keep in mind, this is when COD was making DS games. Might as well make a mobile one too, you know? And just like the COD DS games, these two games were depressingly okay. Nothing more, nothing less. There were a few barely functioning ports of old games just thrown onto mobile games at this time, like Duke Nukem 3D, Doom, and Wolfenstein. And man, if there's a wrong way to play these games, this is the one. At least play it on something funny like a pregnancy tester or something, I don't know. The next few years we got a bunch of super similar games, none really worth mentioning at all. You know how the App Store is, a bunch of junk, but every once in a while, a diamond in the rough shows up. This one coming in the form of Pixel Gun 3D. Pixel Gun started a whole new era of mobile shooters, with the introduction of multiplayer that wasn't absolutely abhorrent. This is because it was released at such a time where both Wi-Fi connection and phone computing power were both good enough to make the experience playable. This was in 2013, so about the time when the iPhone 5S released, and Pixel Gun capitalized on its timing with easy to pick up gameplay and a blocky, Minecrafty style. The success of the game was huge. With millions of players, it changed the landscape of what a mobile game truly could be. Switching from the more single-player focused experience of the past, Pixel Gun narrowed in on what mobile players really want, which is a fun gameplay experience with their friends, not single-player story. This major difference later began to show with the prevalence and popularity of multiplayer games far surpassing their single-player counterparts. If people wanted a story, they would go play on a console or a PC, but if people wanted an experience on the go, they just wanted to play. This trend continued, spawning many multiplayer games in the process. And while this was going on, the single-player games from the last generation were still getting additions to their series, going all the way up to Nova 4 and Modern Combat 5, which by this time had multiplayer function and even had a bit previously, but it just couldn't match its multiplayer-focused competitors. This gap was widened even further with the release of PUBG Mobile, which didn't innovate too far off of Pixel Gun's foundation, but brought players from its large fanbase to the platform. And during this time, mobile shooters were starting to become mainstream, with even further advances in internet speed and phone capability, but then came the biggest game changer of all, Fortnite Mobile. I usually don't talk too much about myself on this channel. I try to stay as unbiased as possible while making each of my videos, going solely off my research on the topic. But I feel as if this part is best described from my point of view. Like I said earlier in the video, I was a mobile gamer, and I was addicted to Fortnite Mobile. And there were a few reasons for this. I didn't get a PC until not even a year ago now, and me and my brother got our first Xbox around the release of Fortnite. My only previous controller experiences were playing Smash Bros on the Wii and getting dunked on by my cousins in Halo when I went over. So, to put it nicely, when I played Fortnite on Xbox, I sucked. My little brother, however, did not. So he usually played and I watched him. This was the usual style of things until Fortnite Mobile released, and I decided to give it a try. Turns out, I was actually pretty good. So instead of watching my brother play, we would play together. I was on mobile, he on Xbox. And I didn't know this at the time, but this type of crossplay was revolutionary, and the only game that had ever done this before was Minecraft. And so we played, and we played a lot. Some of my best memories are sitting with him on the couch and absolutely gaming on people. Hard. One experience that comes to the top of my mind is the one time we won a game by shooting two heavy snipers at a guy at the same time, one breaking the wall and one eliminating it. As you can imagine, playing with console lobbies made me pretty good at mobile. Sadly, I don't have any footage, but I used to be able to build at a pretty confident level, so when I played in just mobile lobbies, I destroyed. And since mobile wins at the start didn't go to your account, I screenshotted every single one, leaving me with an embarrassing amount of Fortnite photos on my phone to this day. But all good times end, and this one was not exempt. Most of you are probably thinking I'm going to talk about the Apple Epic lawsuit, but that was mostly a nail in the coffin. Not for the player count, but just for the player experience. Nearing the time of the App Store takedown, there was a bit of downhill in the enjoyment department. This was mostly because of the growing number of controller players on mobile, and the merging of Nintendo Switch and mobile lobbies because Epic couldn't get enough players on the Switch. As Fortnite died, its crossplay did too, and it's never coming back. I know this is from an Apple user's point of view, but that's still a significant portion of the player base. A player base who either stopped playing altogether or moved on to the newer Call of Duty Mobile. A game good in its own right, but its cross-platform capabilities just don't stand in comparison to what Fortnite Mobile used to be. Don't take this as mobile shooters are dying, because they obviously aren't. They have a young and growing player base that's not going to go away anytime soon. I just feel as if the golden age of mobile shooters has passed, but that's just me. And if there's another game that I didn't even mention, please comment down below. I'll make sure to check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this more anecdotal style of content. If you did, please like and subscribe. If not, tell me in the comments. I'll see you next video. Peace.